Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Robin Flying Solo. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, Robin Flying Solo is the start of the ongoing Robin comic series. In addition to that, this was a part of the Nightfall series. It's one of the few Nightfall tie-in stories that weren't actually part of the Nightfall trade. This, along with the story about Bruce Wayne going off to find and save Tim Drake's father and the doctor that he was dating at the time, that story was not included in Nightfall either. And this rightfully so should not have been, although it ties into Nightfall, and although it has many of the scenes in Nightfall, it's its own standalone story, and it's not essential to Nightfall itself. So it's probably best that they kind of left this out and made it its own trade. But anyways, let's get into the story itself. Robin Flying Solo starts off with Jean-Paul Valley, now Batman, choking the life out of Tim Drake. See, apparently, Tim Drake was playing Jean-Paul Valley's Super Nintendo and erased all his data on Mario the Lost Levels. Now, if someone did that to me, I would be choking the life out of them too. Because, have you ever played the Lost Levels? They're fucking hard games. Anyway. Actually, no. Jean-Paul Valley's just tweaking out like he usually does, because he has the system in his head, and, I don't know, he just felt like choking something, and Tim Drake was in the area. So he starts choking Robin, and Robin cleverly takes his arm off his chest, which happens to be a shuriken, and stabs Jean-Paul in the arm, scurries away to his Robin-mobile, and drives off, leaving Jean-Paul Valley to his own whatever he does. Goes crazy. And Robin starts his many misadventures as Robin away from Batman. This is a actually ingenious way to get Robin kind of starting on his own title. We don't have Bruce as Batman, we have Azrael as Batman, so that means there's at least a good reason why Tim Drake is going out and doing his own thing. It's not like, Batman's like, hey, Tim, you can do whatever you want, just go do whatever you can, I won't bother you. No, Azrael's flipping the fuck out, so it gives an excuse for Tim to go off. Anyways, most of the stories here are broken up into sub-stories, and they all kind of have connection to each other, because this is Tim Drake doing his own thing. Some stories involve him dealing with Spoiler, Stephanie Brown, the introduction of her as really a major supporting character of Tim Drake as Robin. I also will talk about her a little bit later as a character, too. We also see him deal with Cluemaster in such interesting stories, and the interaction between him and Cluemaster inside a truck underneath some cement was very enjoyable. We also see him team up with Huntress here, take on some villainous gangsters, and this is again an establishment of his relationship with Huntress. Because see, out of all the Batman families, really Barbara and Dick are the ones that are best, have the best relationship with Huntress. Nightwing had a one-night stand, but he thinks she's loopy. And Batman likes her, but doesn't trust her because, well, she's willing to kill. So this really establishes the relationship with her and Robin. And all the stories kind of tie together and all that kind of fun fashion. But really, these are just individual fun stories. So, with that said, I might as well just jump into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, guess who writes this? Guess it. Can you guess it? It's Chuck Dixon. Yeah, baby! Chuck Dixon is my favorite Batman writer, at least one of them, and he's done a fantastic job with the Batman universe during the 90s. The only bad Batman story I can think that he's done was Batman Callis. It wasn't so much bad as it just shouldn't have happened. But anyways, he was the mastermind for Batman with Batman, Robin, Nightwing, and I believe Birds of Prey too, so he really had a good grasp on the balls that was the Batman universe. And he does a fantastic job at kind of establishing Robin as his own individual hero, as a hero on himself, not as a sidekick. So, Chuck Dixon does a fantastic job writing it. I really do like these a lot. This is probably my favorite Robin trade, just because the stories are just really good. You get to see Tim Drake starting off as Robin, and one of the great things about Tim Drake is he's not born with the natural abilities that Dick Grayson or even Jason Todd had. He starts out as a normal teenager with just very little training, and lot of brains, and he needs to work through the situations he's put in. He needs to work with what he's got, rather than have all these gifts that are handed to him. And like I said, he's not athletic and like Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. He doesn't have the training that they did, at least at this point. He just has his brains and his wits, and he needs to use it. Which is one of the reasons why Tim Drake is such a great character, is because, well, he's got so goddamn smart. So, it was really nicely done with these stories and how they were handled, especially with Tim Drake as Robin and character becoming his own superhero. The relationships established here, like Stephanie Brown and Huntress, are nice relationships too. Huntress has always kind of been the outside of the Batman group, and having her work with Robin is kind of fun and interesting to see. In Stephanie Brown, this really starts to show that she starts off as such a minor supporting character for Robin, and turns to grow to become Robin herself, and even into Batgirl. So it shows how much of a character evolution we have with Stephanie Brown. We also get an introduction to some of the minor villains in Robin's Rogue Gallery, but it's not really worth pointing out to them. The only one that's really important is Clue Master. You didn't even need him. He's kind of a joke. And the art in this is very nice. This is some of the best art that we had during the 90s, the mid-90s, so I enjoyed the art a lot. Downside. Well, the only downside I can really say about this is it is individual stories, and I feel as though when we get to the ending, although it's very symbolic of an ending, it really doesn't wrap things up for the story. I feel as though everything gets wrapped up in Nightfall. In addition to that, you really should be reading Nightfall before this, or be reading Nightfall during this, because a lot of the Nightfall elements does fall into place here. Even though it's its own individual story, it does still have a lot of Nightfall elements, so it does rely a bit upon that. So if you have not read Nightfall, then you probably should read it, and then read this before you go into Robin. On a whole, whether or not you should get it, definitely. Definitely. This is some great Robin stories. Really fun. Again, Tim Drake being Robin, doing what he does best, being Tim Drake. Chuck Dixon does a great job. Again, just like I said with Robin, Chuck Dixon doing what he does best, writing great Batman stories. These are fun, and this is a great gateway drug for people that want to get into Robin. If you're worried about reading Robin, read Flying Solo, and you won't be worried anymore. This and Hero Reborn are some great ways to get into Robin. So with that said, I'm going to end this review here. Pick up Robin Flying Solo. It is fun. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.